Welcome back to Roflmaoradio, aka Ranting Hour. Now then, we left off with one particular subject, and I believe Mr. Black is just going to get right to it. Let's just not waste any time.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start this off with an infamous phrase, or famous phrase, or actually however way you want to slice it on this one. To Jessi and her father, guess what? You done goofed! Anyway. So, anyway, I was also reading a couple other things the other day, and, I can't remember if it was on her MySpace profile or on her some other profile, but let's see. This is an 11-year-old, mind you. On her little description it says, I party till I pass out, and I fuck till I bleed, and one of her hobbies, I believe, is sex. Do you have any comments, Mr. Iser?
You are an 11 goddamn year old girl. You have no goddamn right to be thinking about that. I know I've made some jokes about this, but you have no goddamn right to be putting shit up like this. And for the parents for not supervising this, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up since you mentioned parents. I'm going to touch up on her mom a little bit, actually. So, she thinks she's being a good parent, but in turn, she's being an awful parent because, one, even though I believe it was her mother-in-law, called her and said that the videos that her daughter put up were true, she still denied the fact her daughter uploaded them. She thinks that someone hacked her computer and uploaded those videos. Well, I've got news for you. How are they going to make the videos of Jessi Slaughter if they hacked the computer and Jessi Slaughter is not present? I want you to explain that one to me. You can't do that. It's impossible. You need the subject there to video record. So I think it's kind of obvious she's the one that did it.
I am not. Neither of us are parents, mind you. But the last thing you want to do is lie to everyone. That's like one of the first things you teach your child. Don't lie. And there's the mother. Guilty as charged as a big-ass motherfucking lie.
And then I just have to, I have to blame her father for kind of inciting all this, because if he wouldn't have had that little rant, I think things might have stopped just a little sooner, but they're still going on right now. I mean, we're still following it, we're still laughing at it, and some of us are still getting pissed off at it, especially me for a comment I'm going to get into later, due to my ethnic background, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to Mr. Iser for a second while I regain my composure, and I'll be right back, and I'm just going to slide the floor over to him.
Alright, back to the MySpace thing, since I didn't cover it all the way here. 11 years old, and you're posting all that crap, and Mr. Black just spilled soda all over me. Lovely. But we're going to continue with this rant because we're both pissed off. You are 11... Seriously, you are 11 years old, and if you wouldn't have posted your goddamn videos and this up on the internet, this would be a non-issue. I stress this right now. You had the choice of not posting this at all. This would be a complete non-issue.
Well, yeah, seriously, I mean, if you would have never posted this shit in the first place, maybe your family wouldn't be falling apart, and maybe this would have never happened.
Or maybe you would be able to live a halfway normal life, I mean, come on. This is just... I understand you might... I'm trying to think of how do I want to say this. There's times to call out for attention, but that is not the way to do it. If you have haters, look, and you said you were so perfect. Number one, perfection is an absolute illusion. There's not a damn thing that is perfect. And there are... Mr. Black agrees, even though he's not on mic. perfection is an illusion that many magicians try to pull off. And you are the worst goddamn magician I've ever seen in my life. Hell, I'm disgracing the term magician there, aren't I? Aren't I? I'm disgracing the term illusionist. I mean, goddamn. This is just hideous. This is just pathetic. I'm almost never at a loss of words, but I don't know what word describes this. And I know a lot of colorful ones. So I'm going to turn it back to Mr. Black while I regain my composure.
Okay, I'm gonna say one thing that actually might be beneficial to you if you're watching this right now. You know, if you really want this to stop, you know what you need to do? Unplug the goddamn Ethernet cable in the back of your computer. Sit still for about a month, and then maybe come back. But chances are, there's gonna be people waiting to just freaking jump on your ass the second you get back and start spouting shit off again. People are like that. We are like that. I'm sorry, but I mean, I like to pick things apart and laugh at them. This is called Roflmaoradio. Granted, right now, I'm picking things apart and get pissed off. Maybe we should call this Pissed Off Radio. I don't know.
That's not a very catchy title. How about Fuck Stupidity Radio, or This is the Anti-Bullshit Radio, or, well, before we get too far off topic, continue.
And I guess, I don't know if we're going to be able to hit our enough to get a next segment in, so I'm going to go ahead and point out something that her father said that pissed me off to a huge degree when I heard it this morning. He said something along the lines of, the Native Americans are going to avenge him, or something along those freaking lines. Now, you know, I've got to say this much. Me being part Native American, I'm going to go ahead and my cohort here, Mr. Iser, is also part Native American. I have to say that, I'm sorry, Mr. Slaughter, but I wouldn't avenge your ass over anything right now.
Well, I would avenge my common sense by stomping a mud hole all over your ass, but let me put it this way. What you just said was absolutely disgraceful. It was blatant. It was just blatantly fascist. Not racist. That was a fascist statement you just made when you said that. And you just and when you just said that, you lost any right to have a halfway decent opinion with that stupid statement.
You know what, Seth? I think he done goofed.
He done goofed by posting that motherfucking thing up, or saying what the fuck he said. I'll tell you what, who done goofed. We might have, because we're almost at 9 minutes now, aren't we?
You know what? I think we are, and if we continue this, and chances are we will, it might get a little off topic in the next segment. I know I forgot to say it in the last segment, but you can find a link to all of our previous stuff down in the description bar. I'm trying to get it ordered by, you know, recent, like, first we did, then et cetera, after that.
I can't believe we said that, but in terms of not saying this in the first end, we done goofed!
Yes, we did done goofed!
Well, when it comes to the next part, and we know it's coming, but he already said his 3 words. Well, I'm going to say my own 3 words. And I think Mr. Black's going to say them at the same time, because we're both thinking the same thing. We're going to say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Backtrace this, motherfucker!